Testing my mic. Okay, it's working. Good. Hello, Top Knot. I'm gonna write out the list of categories here while we wait for people to show up. I have a couple people in the Patreon who will probably be joining me shortly in the voice chat. First category is going to be body. Then head. Then front legs. Hello to whoever just joined. I have my screen set up that I can't see who's in
Hello, it's me.
the chat. Hi, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. How about with you?
It's going great. I'm very excited to start this.
Me too. Bring it on.
Okay, so how it's gonna work is I'm gonna write out all the different parts here, and I'm gonna go through them from top to bottom and gather suggestions for each one.
Okay.
I'm gonna give the stream about like 10-15 minutes of runtime to see how many people show up,
That makes sense, yeah.
so that we can
Everybody.
get as many suggestions as we can.
Yeah.
But then I'm gonna take them all down and decide on which one I think will make the most interesting creature.
Okay, cool. I think that sounds like it'll be a fun time.
Here we got body, head, front limbs, back limbs, wings, tail, horns, and then finally, accessories.
Yes, excellent. I'm glad there's a category for accessories.
In case we want to make this a sparkle creature, which I'm hoping we do. And then under each of these, we'll be able to decide the patterns and the colors as we go along. Oh man, you've had this open till noon? What time zone are you? I'm in Pacific Standard Time. I always feel like when I say it's 6 p.m. PST that I should put a couple different time zones in as well, but I forget.
Are you talking to me or someone in YouTube comments?
Talking to Top Knot in the YouTube chat.
Gotcha.
Anyways, we can start taking some suggestions for body in the meantime, if you got any. The body can be any torso of any beast, I guess I would say.
Oh gosh. I want it to be, or no. I have a suggestion that it could be something fluffy.
Something fluffy. I like that.
Or do I need to pick a specific animal?
I think we can write down fluffy. That works.
Yay.
And oh, Top Knot is on Pacific time too. You have had this tab open for a while. I appreciate the dedication. Everybody gets to witness my funny handwriting. It's better when it's not in VR, I swear. Fluffy. Sheep. Okay.
Yes.
That one's good. So right now, it would be an extra fluffy sheep body.
Yes. I think sheep is a great suggestion. Do these categories have to be animals that actually exist?
No, they can be fantasy animals as well.
Okay, I think another great suggestion would be like a Chinese dragon body.
Oh, yeah, that too. Chinese dragon.
A yak is also very cool, as Top Knot has indicated in the chat.
I haven't decided which one I'm going to pick yet. I have my boyfriend on reference image duty. He's going to be posting them in the Discord chat.
Very cool.
No, you just have my art this week? That's nice. You're in for a treat because I'm going to be using a lot of different tools in this VR drawing session to make them, namely the symmetry tool, to get this started. I wonder if I could just combine all of these suggestions as we go. That was my original idea, to just take as many different animals as possible and then just see how many I could fit together into one design.
I mean, that would be impressive, but I also think the idea to like cherry pick the ones that you think would fit together the best would also turn out really nice. So
Right now, I'm kind of vibing with fluffy Chinese dragon. So I'm going to go ahead and start sketching this idea. I think it needs to be longer than that. Chinese dragons are big, noodly guys.
yeah.
They would have a lot of fluff, especially here. I think I'm going to use the matte hull to do this. And as I'm working, we can change the color at any time. So I'm accepting color suggestions as we go.
I think pink is a great starting color.
Oh yeah, now that everyone's here, I want to show everyone that this environment is called Pink Lemonade. We also have pistachio and plain ones. None of the other ones have cool names like pistachio and pink lemonade, but we're going to be creating creatures in pink lemonade land to start with.
Oh, that's very nice. Yeah. When you said it was pink lemonade in the chat earlier, I thought you were talking about the brush you were using. I totally did not realize it was like the entire backdrop.
Yeah,
That's cool.
they have different preset skyboxes that you can choose from,
Very
which
cool.
are very useful. But they also have preset lighting that I need to change so we can see the shadows on this better. And yes, SY, it's creature time. So far for our body, we have got very fluffy Chinese dragon with sheep and yak influences. So I'm making a long noodle shape. I'm eventually going to put a bunch of fur and scales on.
Very exciting. Love to see it.
A long appa. I think that might get me copyright violated. Also, when we're deciding on legs, there's no limit on the amount of legs that we can have. Well, technically,
yes,
there is a limit based on my computer's output, but beyond that, we can have more than 4 legs. Let's see. I'm making this yak colored for now.
That looks very good. I love that.
Yeah, this is the brush that I use for pine tree needles as well.
Oh. Ooh, the gold color just gave me an idea. What if the creature was colored like a sunset? It was like gold and then orange and then pink and then purple on the butt.
Ooh, okay, I like this. This is a good suggestion. I want you to be extra fluffy. I follow a Tumblr blog called Highland Cows of Sarila, I think is how it's pronounced. And they only post Highland cows. Never heard of them. And they do different things based on the season. When it's Christmas, they'll like put little ornaments on their horns and around them.
Oh gosh, that's so cute.
It's one of my favorite blogs. I want to pet a Highland cow.
They do seem like they would be very fun to pet.
Okay, we have a body. Can now start thinking about what the head will look like. And it doesn't have to match any of the previous suggestions. In fact, it'll be more interesting if it's something very different. Pug face suggestion. I love that. I don't think I've ever tried to draw a pug, so this will be very interesting. Also, welcome to the new person who joined the Discord chat. Worm on a string. Yes. Sucklet head. That would be my suggestion if I was making them, but I am not. This is all about the audience tonight. Also, I don't think a sucklet even has a head. It's all body. Could we combine pug and worm on a string? I forgot I still had the mirror on. Anyways, while I'm waiting for more suggestions, we'll add more fluff. And some dragon scales. That could be something. Definitely like long snout with pug face. Green jungle fowl suggestion from the VIP lounge. I'll need a picture of one of those for sure. Yes. Oh, got one already. That's really cool. I think that one would go the best with the sunset theme that we're going to try to put here. So I'm going to try to go with that one. For those not in the Patreon chat, green jungle fowl looks almost like a rooster, but less fluffy and with really bright cyan and purple and magenta coxcomb. When you see me looking off to my side, I'm looking at the Discord chat, but it doesn't show up on the stream. I think I need to make this dragon's body longer. Ooh. This is very cockatrice so far, that's true. Did any of you have those, like, dragonology books as kids? I feel like there was information about a cockatrice in there. Or a basilisk. And they scared me so bad as a kid, because it was like, everything in that book was real. I thought I was going to come across one, and it was going to paralyze me. Yes! Dragonology fans represent! I'm so glad hearing about people who still have it with them. I think mine is safe somewhere in my childhood home. So for those who have never seen VR art before, this tool kind of just makes a polygon when I hold down my controller trigger in whatever shape that I move it in. I think they intended for it to be used to make spaceships, but I use it for pretty much everything. Anyways, as this is going, we can go on to suggestions for front limbs, back limbs, number of limbs, etc. I think the Dragonology book was like required reading for everyone in our generation. I remember it had that little packet of glitter in it. It was like, this is real dragon scales. And I was like, wow, really? And I kept it so safe. I'm gonna bring out the orbs for making a perfect eyeball. This program also has a bunch of these fun little guide shapes that you can use to make a variety of things. Like when I'm making a water surface, I'll take one of these and I'll just make it really huge and use this to draw on a straight plane. And the other ones can be used to make different architecture buildings. Olive is here. I'm pretty sure you, Olive, cut open the glitter packet and did use it for spells. Which, honestly, them making that book for children, that's what they would have wanted. When you really think about it. Okay, hold on. Writing down multiple sets of wings to go with this.
Can you hear me? I'm worried my mic has gone out.
Oh, I can hear you now.
Okay.
For a while I couldn't.
Okay. Well,
I assumed you had to
I don't
pop
know what
off to do
happened.
something.
Did you hear my thought about the goldfish?
I did not hear about the goldfish.
Okay, for the limb suggestion, I said I had a suggestion that the limbs should be big, billowing, giant fins that a goldfish or a koi fish would have.
Ooh, okay, I like that. Because another option for limbs would be no limbs. I think once I get all of the parts down for this, then I'll take a lot of time going over this initial sketch and making it a little less flat on the front view.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You should see me when I try to make orcas. They're always like very narrow before I go in and fix them.
Gotta round them out.
Anyways, we're elongating this guy.
I love
He's
the
gonna need a
elongation.
name by the end of this for sure. But I don't think we have to decide it yet. It's still early.
Yeah, that's true. Wait till he has all his features.
Creature feature, creature feature. This is very fun. I should do more things like this. This is all thanks to a recent concept art job I had where we had to meet up in the multiplayer version of this called Multibrush. And I basically just created stuff on command for my clients. And I discovered that I could do it pretty quickly. And I was like, huh, maybe I could do this for fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, still taking suggestions for limbs while I work on these extra scales. We're starting with pink and going into sunset colors. Session was very interesting because at first there was a bunch of people who had never used it before, so there was a bit of a learning curve. Getting used to just even figuring out to move around.
Didn't you say that someone got lost? Like,
yes, the CEO, he got lost. Like we were all like around the art that I was making and just like way far into the distance somewhere over. I'll show you guys on which environment we were in. We were just in the default one. You see those like really tiny mountains, hills, all the way over there? He had somehow gone all the way over here. He was just totally lost.
oh
And
no.
if you can see the screen where the glowing letters are, all the way over there. I don't know how he managed to get this far away because he wasn't using the controls like I am. Because to move around in this game, it's kind of weird. You have to like hold both of these buttons down on the side, and then you make things small, bring them towards you, and then make them big again. And that's how you move.
Like a breaststroke in the water.
It really is. That's what we were trying to say. We're like, it's like swimming. Imagine you're swimming. Imagine you're moving like a gorilla or something. And it was not going well.
That's so funny.
But we survived. Hold on, load this, see if I can get my, there we go, my lighting back. But it was a very fun experience. I look forward to the day when I can do it again as a concept art job.
No, that's a terrible idea.
Okay. Cicada feet. Oh my god. Aren't those the birds that have like really long black feet? Starfish. Okay, I gotta write these down. Gotta write these down and mood board this. I'm kind of gonna write limbs just in the general limb area. Starfish. Checking bat wings. That's cool. Ah, yes. The lovely Yakina with the many, many talons. Lemur. I have an idea based on fins with hands. They're going to be like wings, sort of, but like billowy fish wings. It'll have hands on the ends of them. They can be like little raccoon lemur hands.
Well, I am looking forward to seeing the execution.
I think it should have like fins sort of across the body of it. Going this way. And then another set of these hand wings. This is going to be a very interesting creature. Kind of like the color scheme we've ended up with. That we can add different markings and accessories as we go on. And then it's also going to be covered with scales. Making a little lemur raccoon claws.
Okay, that's not as cursed as I was imagining it.
I'm doing my best to make a wacky yet beautiful creature.
Oh, but you're doing a great job. It's going good.
Let's see, what brush do I want to use for this? Also, I get to show off this new feature that just got added. So normally, drawing doesn't have any stabilization, or it didn't for the entire time that I've used this program, which has been since 2016. But recently, since it went open source and got updates again, they added a stroke stabilizer so I
That
can
looks
make
awesome.
beautifully smooth anything. And it has
Amazing.
saved my life, especially when I was
Oh,
making the music video.
wow, that looks so cool.
Yeah, it's very fun. The only thing about wing membranes is that they're tricky to make. I'm going to try to think of a creative way to make this look like goldfish fins. I think if I use the stabilizer and use this brush that has a little bit of 3D feel to it, kind of go along the curve of this wing, that it should at least look cool.
I think that looks great. Nice.
The curse of wanting a VR setup. Yeah, I use the Oculus Quest, which is now called the Meta Quest in a fit of disastrous rebranding. And you can use it without a gaming computer, but it has a lot less capability, and you can create a lot less with it. You can still use this program, but if I'm in there for about like 30 minutes or so, it'll start saying, you have exceeded your limits, you cannot make any more. And I'll have to either stop or take the file off of the headset and put it on my computer so I can finish it from there. But I do have a very powerful PC for running this. It was funny, I tried to load one of the things I just made with this headset plugged into my PC, just onto the headset without it being plugged in, and it was like not a very fun experience. If you're prone to motion sickness, you might have gotten it, because I remember like the screen was just jittering like crazy. I was trying to load an underwater jellyfish scene, and anytime I tried to move my head, the frame rate was about 1 frame per second.
That sucks.
But at least I learned. Wasn't really expecting it to work, but I wanted to test anyways. Ooh, you have a gaming computer already. That's good then. And oh, the flat plane tool. Yeah, I could, but then the problem is it would be too flat, and these wings are a little bit 3D, and I want to have this kind of billowing motion going. I think I'm going to change the colors on these to be more sunset as I go on.
Oh, I like the fins on the back. That's really cool.
Yeah, this is going to be a very aquatic or flying looking creature. I don't want to change that yet. Anyways, moving on to the back legs, we can start taking suggestions for the tail. Whatever tail gets suggested, I'm going to make it very long. And then after this guy is completed, and the kind of T-pose we're in here, then I get to pose him. which is always the most exciting part of making any 3D model. It's getting to play with it like it's a little art doll. We are creating foot.
Foot.
I'm glad you are enjoying learning about it. Top knot. When I first tried this back in 2016, I got hooked immediately and actually went and saved up for a VR headset of my own just because of trying a demo of it in a random Microsoft store. Because it's really, there's no words to describe how cool it is to just make whatever you want as you think of it in 3D space. It makes 3D modeling so much more accessible. Like, there are programs that don't have this stroke by stroke format that Tilt Brush / Open Brush does, that are more traditional sculpting type 3D modeling where you start with a ball and you kind of move it around like you're sculpting a real object. And actually being able to do it in 3D space and see and feel sort of with your hands what you're doing and look around it with your own eyes rather than having to like move it around on a screen. It's a much more intuitive process for creating 3D things. And I don't think I ever would have gotten into making 3D art if it hadn't been for virtual reality, which is crazy. New technology. It's out there. This is pretty much all I use my headset for. I know that there's a bunch of games, and they're constantly coming out with new ones, but all I ever want to do is make art, make funny creatures. Anyways, as this continues to be worked on, still need suggestions for tail. Shark tail, that's good. I love Thresher Shark. I love all sharks. Those guys especially have cool tails. I'm gonna write that one down.
Or fish tail.
Ooh, that'd be good too. Ooh, sunset peacock tail. Also good.
Oh, I like the sunset peacock one.
It would be very fitting with our fowl head. I like how we have a kind of bird sea creature design going on.
Yes, very cool.
That's unique. I really enjoyed asking for the most wacky animal suggestions the other day. I'm kind of glad I don't have to try to make a barrel eye fish again. That was a little bit disastrous. It was harder to make in VR than I thought. The next time I need more suggestions, I'll head on over to the example creatures so we can go see him. There is a feature that lets you take something from a different VR sketch into your new one, but that one's on the experimental version, which I am not using. I'm using the regular one from Steam so that I can see everybody's lovely YouTube comments tonight, because I have to use another program called OVR Toolkit to let me see my desktop in VR. That one is sadly not a function included in this program, but it would be very nice if it was. I'm already getting excited thinking about the landscape that we'll design for this creature to be its home.
Oh, yes, because we've got bird features and fish features.
I know, it's going to be good.
Sky and sea.
Alright, let's see if I can combine a shark tail that has a trail of peacock feathers attached to it.
That's a fun idea.
Butcher sharks have very long tails. It kind of goes down like this. And then what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here and I'm going to make a bunch of individual feathers so I can place them on the tail.
That's cool.
So you got this, you got your eyeball in the feather. And I want this to be the same color as the comb on the head. I'm going to get a bit more feathering in the feather. I think we can go with like a bright yellow eye spot on this.
Ooh, yes. I think any opportunity to make something glow is a great opportunity.
And then we can do orange here. This little half moon pattern. I think it's time to bring in an accent color, like bright green. And a little bit of black around the edges here. And I gotta go in and erase my sketch lines. That's another feature that I think that they're still working on adding, is an ability to have actual layers. So you can have a sketch layer and a color layer. There technically is one in the experimental version. There's a special brush that has a toggle on it that you can toggle it off. But I found out that the only problem with that is it defaults to toggling on when you try to take a video. So if you hide it when you're done with it, you can take pictures, but when you go to render the video, it'll show all your sketch lines again. So for now, I still must just go in and erase everything. Ooh, I can already tell this is going to be very cool. Here's some good suggestions tonight. Maybe I should advertise my streams more often. Alright, we've got peacock feathers on the thresher tail.
That looks so cool.
Next on the list is deciding on horns and accessories. We've kind of got all the things out of the way already, surprisingly.
Amazing. Okay, accessory, a halo.
Oh, definitely a halo. Love that idea.
Halo that's like shaped like a sun or something.
You can make this into a sun god, goldfish, yak, dragon, bird.
Yes. Excellent.
I bet this thing's gonna end up living in some kind of like cloud palace. Because I do like the idea of it swimming through the air, as chat said.
I think the cloud, if it does end up being a cloud palace, I think there should also be like big rooms full of water that kind of pour down out of the clouds.
Ooh, yes. Love that. Write that down somewhere. We're using that.
Okay, I won't forget.
I know I was saying that I'm going to be scheduled for next Monday on the next stream, but I think I might be traveling then. I will aim to take my headset with me if I am. But we'll see if I can actually still stream. So for this, I've still got to go in and add scales. But that's not the most exciting thing to watch. So we'll keep going with accessory suggestions. If he even needs them, though. He's already very fancy. Could also use suggestions for markings. If we want to add stripes or spots. Or any glowing bits. There's that and horns. That has gone unlooked at. I think this thing could use some horns.
I feel like I need to see his face so I can see what horns might look good on.
I'll bring the face back over, erase some sketch lines over there. Yak horns? For sure, I like that idea. I don't remember what yak horns look like, so if someone can drop that in the VIP lounge, would be appreciated.
Looking at a picture of yak horns now, and I think those look like great ideas for him.
Good.
I'm gonna put it in the chat.
Thank you. It almost makes me want to give this creature a little tuft of hair.
Oh, that would be great. You should totally do that.
Oh yeah, I just remembered that. Also need to add the neon colors to the head of the creature. Cyan and purple. I think I'll add some more cyan to the tail feathers as well. I want to give him sparkly little eyes. I want to give him kawaii desu eyeballs. Getting flashbacks to Peanut. Well, I remember Peanut, right?
Do I remember
Peanut was the lovely little donkey from Walmart Health.
Right.
Who was supposed to be a horse at first. But I forgot what a horse looked like. So Peanut became a donkey instead. Long live Peanut, destroying capitalist agendas.
Long live Peanut.
Oh, that's adorable. Okay. Yak horns. The hardest thing about this program is deciding what your favorite brushes are. Or deciding what you want to use them for.
My favorite brush that I've seen you use is the one that you make fire with, like the fires that were burning down the mall art.
Yeah. That one's a fun one, but I don't get a lot of opportunities to use it. This thing looks so funny from the front.
It's like he's got bike handles.
This is a magical being that gives you rides to the Cloud Kingdoms.
Excellent.
Still needs a name. We'll come up with at some point.
His name should be Geronimo.
I love that. Excellent suggestion. Going to add the halo.
Yeah.
And we're about at the hour mark. We have all the pieces. So I'll probably do a little bit more details on this, but I usually only have my streams go for an hour, just for my sanity. But I'm glad we got through all the categories.
Yeah, he looks awesome. Everyone had amazing ideas.
Make a very glowing halo.
Yes.
I love the light brush. So satisfying
So
to use.
pretty. It's super pretty.
This reminds me of those games I used to play where you like dress up your character and you get like a halo item.
Yes.
This is very
Perfect.
cute.
Oh, that looks so good.
Okay, so I think the next things I will do, unless there are any last minute accessory suggestions, feel free to leave them in the chat as I am cleaning up these last sketches. And also for those who are patrons, if you get any extra ideas in the next couple days, feel free to leave them in the VIP lounge. I will add them to Geronimo as I am working. We have to give him a gun. Well, you gotta say what kind of gun. Gotta be specific here.
Halo shooting gun. Whoever you shoots it at gets a halo.
Ooh, I like peacock eyes on the halo. I'm not sure how to implement that, but I will think on it. Right now I'm giving him little claws.
What about a peacock eye in the center of the halo that's kind of like looking down on him?
Ooh, I like that. That's good. Bubble gun. I wish that I had the experimental brushes because there is a brush in the experimental version that's just called Bubble. It's very entertaining. It doesn't really make round bubble shapes, but it makes bubble blobs.
Oh, that's cool.
And one of the first things I made with the experimental version was a bubble blob dragon.
Would you ever do, this is just random thought, but would you ever do a stream where you like open up one of your old VR arts and kind of like let us move around in it, or you move around in it and we
Oh
see
yeah,
it
that's how I
again?
wanted to end this one. Thanks for reminding me. I'm gonna write
Oh,
down the
cool.
peacock eye suggestion. Right yak here. Just so I get it all in. Halo. I'm definitely gonna take a picture of this and post it afterwards. Peacock eye spots. Our first stop is to go see the lovely, lovely barrel eye fish, who is in Untitled 4. I'm gonna let you guys watch these load in. all the different parts. I got these done. This is about the point where I called upon chat for suggestions and got isopod, that weird big-eyed bird, capybara, echidna, fairy mole thing,
This looks
and
so
barrel eye.
weird.
I know, I was rearranging them into many different configurations. Anyways, here's our friend Barrel Eye. These two dots on the face are not actually eyes. They are its olfactory glands. And those large green balls are its actual eyes. And it is constantly looking up because it lives in the deep ocean. And its only predators are the things that are above it. So it always watches the light above to see if there's any shadows passing over the very, very distant sunlight. If it sees them, it can escape.
I think you did an awesome job making that in VR. I know you said it was hard, but that looks super good.
It was fun. I'll say that about it. Anyways, this is what I spent my Sunday doing. It's making these little critters.
Amazing.
Anyways, we have a selection to choose from here. Some of this I can't show you because it's under NDA. You can see the little icons, but you can't see anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But we have the nature deer, the green heart, that was used to fundraise. We have blood from blood.
Can we see the Manta Ship?
Oh, the manta. I hope I have that on here. I should. There it is. Let's see if it loads. Yes, good, okay. It was having some issues when I tried to submit it. Anyways, I'm going to use flying controls so we get the experience being person size coming up here. Let's look at it from above. This was made for a VR chat event called VR Burn, which didn't end up happening. It ended up being canceled, which I was thankful for because I was having issues with my file. And the theme of the submissions were to be spaceship themed or UFO themed. So I decided to make a UFO called the Manta Ship. And this Manta Ship is obviously shaped like a manta, but it has a little bit of story lore that came up as I was creating it. It has 3 different terrariums in it that house different alien plants from all across the universe. And the thing that they all have in common is that they are either rare or endangered. And the manta's job is to find endangered specimens, maybe like the last of their kind, and to save them from whatever world that they came from, and to put them in these little terrariums and find a new world and propagate them so that they do not die out.
So cool. I love this art so much. I could just live in here.
Yeah, I had my boyfriend write fun little descriptions for each of these plants because when I made them, I had no ideas of what they were exactly. And I'm not going to do his writing justice because I can't remember all of it, but this first one is the spiral tree, which is formed in large gravity wells of these really dense fibers, and the blue spirals within them are powered by whatever large gravity well that's near it. Maybe it's a large star or a black hole, and they warp gravity around them so that the fibers grow in a spiral pattern around it, and the leaves aren't even attached to the branches. They're held in place by these power filaments. And this one over here is a carnivorous plant that lures you towards it with, like, I think it's an attractive scent or a memory or a sound or something, and they're all connected by these flashing filaments, which are not actually a part of the plant. They are a fungus, like what is it called?
A
A
mycelium?
microbial, a mycelium network, yeah. Mycelium network that connects them all and transfers energy between each plant because they feed rarely. When one of them feeds, they share it with all of the other babies around.
Wow, very cool.
And the last one story goes that it is not actually a real plant. It only looks like a plant, but it's made of materials that are not grown from the soil. They're made by all these little dots, which are actually very small bugs. And the bugs are building the plant from unknown materials that they're gathering from somewhere else. And the purpose of them building the plant is unknown because they are very small and they're building a large structure. And maybe it's their house, maybe it's for some other reason. We don't know why they're building it, but it's not a plant. And this one actually has a little Easter egg that, if you know about, a little worm. I forget if he has a name, but
I think
he's
he's gonna
down
have a
here.
name, but I forgot it.
Me too. I have to go back and watch the stream to find it. And then the ship is powered by this tree structure in the back that pulls power through various filaments through parts of the ship. And anyone who finds this ship flying in space has no way of understanding how the power source works on the ship and has no way of understanding who built it because it's entirely autonomous and it kind of just roves the galaxy doing plant things. Anyway, shout out to my boyfriend for the lovely writing to go with this. Before he came up with most of that, it was all just, it's a pretty Manta ship. It has greenhouses in it. But this one's very fun, especially to fly around. And hopefully, whenever VR Burn comes back, it was not rescheduled after it got canceled last year. I will resubmit it. And people will be able to walk around it. When it comes back, I'm planning on taking the text that my boyfriend wrote and putting it on little plaques in front of each one of these so that when people are walking around in VR, they can read about it.
Oh, that would be so cool.
And a lot of people will hopefully see it. It'll be fun. Anyways, are there any other requests? We have Dessert World. We have all of the Christmas ones. We have Hidden Shia LaBeouf.
Let me think. You have any of those ones that have like the portal door?
Yeah, we have this one, which I don't think I have done many videos of recently, or even shown on stream yet. If I can get it to load. Where am I? I'm still in the Manta. Okay. Oh, I think I'm glitched because of the Manta. It's still a little glitchy. So things aren't going to load, but I will keep that request in mind for our next stream, because I'd have to restart it to get it to load again. And I have a dinner date pending, but thank you all for your lovely suggestions for our creature. Let's take us back to our nice pink lemonade backdrop. Our creature who is lovingly named Geronimo. I will be working more on him, adding details, making him look less rough and more refined as a lovely bird, dragon, fish should be. And if he's not done by next week, I guess the stream next week will be working on him more or working on some two-dimensional art. But if he is, and I have all my setup ready, we will be designing possibly a cloud world for him to fly and swim around.
Amazing.
Anyways,
so exciting.
Thank you all again, and good night.
Good night.